We'll see that as GameAgents here. Starting on the CT side of Mirage, where Complexity already have that control of the A site. Bomb already down 2 as RENNE goes down. That basically should tie up the round, or should it? Femin actually getting something back, but then regali's left all alone, so probably is tied up at this point. Regali all by his lonesome. This is of course a map that Complexity like to play. Typically do pick it against any team. And I think, as I speculated coming into it, they weren't really going to evade its job, really, with regali being forced back and into a passive window position, but then JKS just pops out on A to find himself a 2k. He's feeling himself, try to go for a bit more. He only went for a peek, though, so not going to cost him his life just yet, as RENNE's life is just evaporated. Rush might just re-peek to find himself another in there as regali finally at least gets a kill on the board. But will probably not do too much more. Maybe back off from here on out to try and save that up. Lonks as well. In window trying to save his as he holds off both Rush and blameF. He probably will be able to save these ones then. If Config doesn't rock up towards regali in a... I know that can't be stopped. Regali. Oh, he's looking for it. Good stuff. Keeping hold of both the AWP and the AK then. Having to put up quite the fight for them. Entry peek. Always the entry man. Oh, but regali finds him on the flick. Oh, half blind. They try and flash in now still, Complexity. And they have pretty much given up the site game edges. Well, I guess regali didn't have that memo. Sticking around until he went down, but then MHN comes into about 50 seconds on the board. They still try and go for this as poizon flashes through into CT, but only to go down. It's a little bit of a... had to back off and so on. Here's Rush though, with the Mac 10 alongside the pistols. Here he goes. Rush is always first in line as he finds one. There's plenty more to get, and they do get it. JKS on the long range Tech 9 as well as Config. With the M4 now in hand. Wiping them out here in the round. It's ridiculous stuff. You really should be able to do this. I guess the full buy. Complexity went in like nobody's business. As Config hits that long range as well. Second. Complexity run in. Good spray initially, but F and K gets found out through the smoke. blameF, that was just disgusting from him, as poizon's able to jump into window as a result, and then JKS! The blind kills keep coming. Complexity now with a 2-man advantage, it all feels so unfair. As regali goes down, RENNE and Lonks are forced to save. At least 2 of those 3 kills were just not really a fair fight. I think a timeout's been already called by GameAgents. They try and stick around. They weren't really aware of the possibility of poizon rocking up from market. Yeah, Lonks already exposed. He still finds that kill, but there's so many other players looking for him. Rush not the least. The closest by, in fact, as Rush peeks out and finds that kill onto Lonks. Plenty of mid activity as well from Complexity. Trying to go for a bit of a B split here, I would imagine. Config a little bit too audacious in that peak, as RENNE's actually able to reposition to land some damage onto the players up in apartments. The Molotov will do even further damage, even kill off JKS. Leaving them again with a 1-man advantage, which is just not going back down, it seems. blameF goes down instead. Get this clean off or wait for poizon to find something in middle. There it is. poizon's still going down. I guess that's the wrong type of find, eh? Oh, Rush, he's turned his back. Oh! He flicked that then? He gets the bomb plant as a result all of a sudden. Looking a lot more doable. Rush peeks out. RENNE tagged down. He's already on 3 and he goes down there. With F and K falling next, there's Rush here. potential for the 1-on-4 is regali's already switched onto that USP in hand, no kit in sight. And Rush just sneaks around it. Through the smoke he goes. There's regali to peek it. Rush, oh, that is unfortunate. Again, had his back turned, but this time was not saved by the flick, by the turnaround. Ended up being quite close as well for regali in the 1-on-1. Otherwise, it has been just a complexity wreck. I guess you have to go for opening. Ren is still on middle, but complexity more so aware of him this time. Even as Rush goes down, that's Config getting dinked too. He will hold on to the man advantage, but not by much. regali rotates in, not the perfect weapon here for Lonks to try and handle a full-on B execute. As poizon pushes through, it's Long still with the frag. He gets peeked though, as regali stays alive to find another. That sets up FNK, but he falters as blameF double ops up. Lonks and regali, neither of which are in middle, interestingly enough, as middle actually still is held onto. RENNE with that frag to make it 5-on-3. I feel like complexity are resting on their laurels a little bit now. Dropping these early man advantages as config has walked past RENNE and neither of them realize it. He's in towards stairs now. I'm not sure why FNK even suspected it, but he still finds that frag. That becomes sort of a disadvantage for him in that he doesn't know of the connector player. That's it. Config goes down. There's still 2-on-3 to handle. JKX though going down. Immediately leaves blameF apartments. So he still evades him. About 40 seconds to re-peak. Couldn't handle it. No chances if they can just open up rounds in a better way, basically, as Rush does his job getting 1 kill and getting traded. That 7k with that trade now backing off as complexity start to push through. Still 2 ops to play with, but when does that become a disadvantage for the Romanians? Probably right about now as the bomb goes down. regali still looking at it from CT. No smoke there for him. As regali's able to step through and find one, so does Lonks on his AWP. There's still JKS to worry about in dark, and then blameF has already been spotted in ramp now in a 1-on-2. Bomb. I don't think it's planted for him yet. It's in the wrong angle, and he had to peek out as a result, but only to get found out. GameAgents picking up another round as a result. He's suspecting it. Config. He's got that position. I'm sure he's got to find something, but then regali with the flick. But remaining as poizon peeks through. Good stuff from him to find regali as well. Important position. That MHN is gone. It feels like they're just falling like dominoes at this stage. At least FNK is able to find back something, but gets flashed, and the aggressive peaks lead to yet another man advantage here for complexity. Holding on to their angles is all it's about now. Lonks all alone. He's got that op as he actually finds some damage on blameF, but not quite enough to take him out as poizon does it instead. That's the round, the half. Obviously adds that kit, so I'm suspecting him playing a little bit more passively than usual. But then poizon rocks up to try and go super aggressive on the flank to actually find a trade as well. The kit has been dropped, but only as close as blameF. Config to pick it up. Already on the retake here. It's a quick one. poizon getting tagged up and complexity trying to run in. Checking all the positions. It's beautiful stuff, really. Then Lonks has his shots, and so does regali, and all of a sudden we're straight back into that blameF clutch situation. Now in a 1-on-2, he has that kit at least picked up, but needs them to give him something, and they just don't. It's nicely done. Will come from CT and in towards A instead. Ooh, blameF caught. So he was trying to evade. It's an early trade then, with GameAgents actually getting connector as a result. Still poizon to look out for if they do decide to push in through there, which I think they will. An A-split is seemingly inbound as JKS was caught after the flash into ramp, and now they try and push through as a result with 2 players waiting in CT. poizon and Rush, the foremost of which goes down immediately, and then the rest just fall down as a result. Well, neither of which stood in middle, yet they still were able to take such control of it. Windows, they try and come out here with an A-split, FNK and Lox come out of underground for a trade. There's poizon and config, both with ops, both in connector as well. That's the only A defense. Automatic at this point in the 3-on-3. GameAgents spotting that out now. Complexity. Run through, they do get one, but it's immediately traded. There's the op on ops now, with RENNE hiding in dark as well. A flash up there, regali. Having to look at so many angles. He's already been smoked off though as RENNE pops out to find one. There's config, who's also been deleted. That's all of them that are past it. Which I guess goes for a lot of the top teams, especially in this area as mentioned. In this era, as mentioned. Oh, I guess they're not really aware of it. They've already gone past it anyway, so it doesn't matter as config still holds CT, JKS and dark. At least they have that position, at least they have that trade. With config still in CT and blameF in jungle, there's still some type of defense at least, with RENNE getting caught out as well. That's already a 2-on-4. With only 20 seconds on the clock, they really have to do things quickly now, but only regali, who only finds 2. You can't blame him, but meanwhile FNK just hiding out in connector. Just taunting poizon to a fault almost. Twistzz gets found out. That is rush. They haven't really committed to anything, and now they have to go back in a massive positional under advantage. Yeah, just JKS being able to hold that. Establish that they're here to stay in a way, at least on this map. You do still have that money though. Still have towards window, but with GameAgents starting to flash through and smoke through, blameF has rotated in and is able to shut down longs. Here they come. Not too much utility to use actually, as FNK yet again is spotted. You really should be aware of that JKS dark position at this point. It just falls apart here for the Romanians. There's only MHN and he's split. As GameAgents have been doing for a lot of this half. FNK not being watched by Rush either, as RENNE is actually able to find the kill on poizon in CT. There's JKS who's switched it up to perfection. The Australian getting 2 to make it 60. Natural outcome, I believe, for map 2 is we've actually yet again go for this highly aggressive flanking style on the pistol round. They can leave themselves in a 3-on-2. Make that a 2-on-2 is don't really have the kit. I think that came from the flank, so blameF and config will have to work quickly. The Danish do it. Working their way through. It's Lonks and regali to try and go for the double peek. At least Lonks finds one. blameNet are now in a really tough situation, really, without a kit. He really just has to go for the peeks. He finds regali still as Lonks just backs off. Excellently so, even as blameF finds that kill. Won't be enough. And GameAgents get right on. That's strong from them. Will put a lot of strain to be used by JKS, so at least finds a kill. His teammates finding 1-2. That is still winnable. Very much so. Look at Lonks' health as well in the 3-on-2 now in favor, in fact, of GameAgents. So when Lonks just goes down, there's only regali. Already turned it into 1-on-2. There's poizon to watch him, and he does get tagged up as they go in with pistols, and poizon eliminates him with just that. Well done in the end, I guess, by complexity. Pretty strong round in general to be able to adapt to that, even when they had so many players placed over on the B site. Just now moving in towards that B site. Or A site, I should say. Wow. Just ramp being taken over again, this time by blameF. poizon rushing into, will lead them straight into the 3-on-1. There's always a T that was gonna feel the end of it. FMH the only man in the end, but again, not for long. JKS. They try and flash themselves back in, it seemed. At least getting the information, but then Rush just tempted fate by jump part. JKS starts to rotate back and forth. He's in the middle at least. FMH actually getting a kill as well. JKS just fully rotated. They've just been sold completely. They'll notice. I mean, MHN is in the site. With only 15 seconds though, they've got to start thinking about it. The moment gets planted, surely they don't stick around. They kill one off. Not started to rotate yet. Oh, now they realize. Oh my goodness. It took a shot in the back of the head, literally, to even alert them of it being A, I feel. Oh, wow. FNK, the knife there on the A site, that was just instrumental in selling it. Really, they really did sell it. GameAgents now trying to get straight back into this one then. The M4 laying straight in front of him, but he won't pick it up. He's heard him. He's gone down. There's config at least though here to watch out for. But it is now a 3-on-3 as GameAgents look to approach. With the full rotations now inbound. They push in, but seemingly too late as config gets 1-2. Oh, but then regali stays alive. Now in the one-on-one against blameF, who jiggle peeks, but then just sticks around. regali. Storm as GameAgents do. Finally throwing those smokes, throwing those molotovs. Config goes down, meanwhile in middle. Just taking out the rotation. Now there's only JKS up, but at the top of the smoke, a risky spot, which lands them on the ground. That is a 3-on-5 already. And look at that, Logs getting in there for 2. To make it unwinnable, there's only blameF left, and he's just gonna try and save this AK from this point out. Solid stuff from the GameAgents side. Push in on a ramp. Obviously they get the info that there's no one there, so they can rotate over. Or again, don't seem like that scares them at all. But maybe it should have. Rush getting the opening instead. Poizon is traded out. They're still sticking around, but how much can he really do on that tight angle? Pushes up. Oh, that is cheeky from Rush as he finds another 2. Backing off now, but he's essentially ruined this entire attack. I mean, Rush, he just keeps going. The deagles are just getting what they want here, as even as Rush and config get taken out. Is JKS anchor role being played now then? To try and allow more presence towards B, but that isn't felt at least. The FNK was able to walk in. Angle if he also wasn't holding middle. He pushes through still. To try and find a cheeky angle, does get that trade on FNK, but only to go down. Yeah, in the defense. That just looked so frail. That's always what I find with specifically fragging oriented controlled in a way where they're so easily exposed. That's poizon. Easily exposing better manner, I'd say. Helping out JKS a lot more of that angle as JKS is still able to find one out on the outer railing. He's staying alive for a little bit too long there, but finally to be found out. Still retains the man advantage though, and GameAgents are not getting anywhere. They don't have any smokes to use either from now on, with config pushing in. Same place as JKS was, and he's able to only do a bit of damage actually. That might have been a bad push in the end. blameF now pushing in instead to find his own frag and to immediately bring it all the way back. They keep on nading MHN's position. Is that only gonna rile it up? I guess not with blameF. They're picking that kill up. There's only FNK, yeah, and he's trying to get that plant over towards the base site, but I wonder if he'll really be able to. He still just pins down poizon with the headshot, but then plants way too openly. Mirage as well. So we head into another grand round for GameAgents' final attempt to trying to win out this first half. They get the trade there in ramp. Getting some decent positioning as well, as poizon's just exposed. I'm not sure what the plan was with a nade through. They've pushed through CT actually. They're heading towards A, it looks like. With MHN getting one on blameF, but then a trade from config, which ended up still in the favor of GA. That's a weird setup to me. It's a 3-on-4, so maybe we shouldn't be expecting them to win, but still, they just looked a little bit bleak. I feel like config was so indecisive in where you wanted to go. JK has attempts to save this one. I guess he's doing a pretty good job at it. Build up their own economy, but I guess they do keep that up around for the next one. For the last round. Even in an online setting. At least got 11 rounds on map 1 after that early stress again all alone. Even with blameF coming in for the rotation. How will he hold on? And K found one of the over on A actually. But then he pushes too far. And the entire round is just so spread out as a result. I feel like FNK maybe shouldn't have pushed in so hard because that leaves poizon to maybe shut down this bomb plant now. He's spotted. Taken out. Will he get the bomb plant through? And He will. Regali. And him trying to stay alive. He just gets it down as he gets exploded by a nade. Regali's done it before, but he whiffs on JKS. And even when he got the second chance, he whiffed again at JKS in the end to win it out. Even blameF. 8-7. They're so good at force spying. Just buying up those deagles and wreaking havoc with the amount of talent they have, but I don't feel like GameAgents have been GameAgents completely fooled in a similar manner to how they fooled Complexity in half 1. Actually, on the pistol there too, right? Oh my goodness, config. What are you doing? The ace comes out from him. Just like that. But mainly players over towards that B site, blameF. There again to entertain them, but then JKS just rocks up. Here's this chance to... He's all alone on the B site, but now he's given up the angle, so JKS can just push in, but then he still finds the flick to at least make it competitive. FNK, in fact, trading it all the way back out. It's a good flank coming through from Lonks as well, it looks like, even as RENNE falls. Lonks will have to push in now, though, to catch off the timing. He gets it, the 2-on-2 as a result. Even as FNK goes down, Lonks in some type of chance. Oh, but poizon tags him up. And config finish. They just want to get it over with at this point. Pushing up mostly towards that B site. An early smoke. blameF goes down though towards A. Yeah, again, it feels like he's making a couple bad pushes on the lurk. At least he hasn't given it up to a bunch of pistols. As the rifles do start to battle. FNK still here on B, but they've already lost one. He comes back out only to leave RENNE in. Well, now only Regali, who is essentially forced into it. Just putting up a valiant effort there, especially on the T side where they got 7 rounds in a row to kick it off. They kind of did the same here, getting 7 rounds on the first half of that T side. But have started to show some mixed bag here for the buy of GameAgents, I'd call it. As FNK actually rocks up to get one. Oh, gets the AK too. He's going to keep on that adventure. With Complexity only touching over on A ramp, I don't think they'll be suspecting this flank to be so aggressive from FNK. Oh, but then Rush is there. So 4-4 as a result, with no AKs now in play for GameAgents as well. They throw in some Molotovs and so on, but it's only RENNE to get the frags. And only 2. And there he is. Match point. It is another buy at least. But what can they really do? I don't know. I don't really trust it at all now. Even as FNK finds an opening there, he immediately does get traded. The trade game for Complexity has just been so good on both maps really on the T side. The CT side really more so struggled, but then MHN is there to find 2 of his own. So no trades there until poizon rocks up to indeed deliver that point once more. Now there's only Lonks on the site itself, with Regali just outside it as they try and push in. poizon is vulnerable though on those 7 health points, and he goes down. No trade for blameF, even FC tags up Lonks and takes them down with the nade. He's caught out with the Molotov out on it. Forced back all the way by the likes of that Molotov thrown in by Rush, and then the only offense from the CT side came from the flank of FNK. I didn't even notice it there until he rocked up, but quickly goes down. GameAgents just haven't really got any clean openings in any other CT rounds. Always been traded, and then once the execute comes out, it's always so vicious. It's always so evil. From complexity, it's already a 3-on-2. RENNE just has to hold it down. I think they are going to check in though. Oh, they won't! RENNE gets 2 to leave it to MHN once more. But for once, it's not a 1-on-2. It's just 1, and he takes them down from above. An early peek through. Look at Lonk. So the corner of that smoke, I feel like if he kept holding it, he would have had him. Maybe doesn't live to see another clutch. We'll see though. With 40 seconds, they push in. He does get a trade. That's a 3-on-3 though, with MHM failing to get anyone. Oh, regali. That's just a bad peek. Don't think he realized Config had already pushed through, and we kind of have to go for this retake now. But it's so much harder without one in the round. That is complexity. Yeah.